Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It's Race Nation TV here at night now because I had to work today. A little bit of a later upload, so we're just going to get into it. We're going to talk about night number 4 of the Chili Bowl Nationals. What can I say? Christopher Bell won. Who would have saw that coming? Thomas Meserol, if I butchered that last name, I'm sorry. He finished second, and so it's going to be Christopher Bell and Thomas Meserol. They're locked into the A. It's Friday, so as of right now, I'm recording because it's later. Right now is happening the final night of the prelims, and so that's going to go in. That's going to set the field for tomorrow, Saturday, which is when the actual Chili Bowl happens. So tomorrow, basically, before I get into the rest talking about last night, it's an O main all the way to the B, and there's doubles. So there's going to be O main number 1, O main number 2. And then the rest goes on. There's 2 of each, and basically it's going to boil down. I think it starts as early. I think it's like 10 a.m. tomorrow. Most call it the alphabet soup. That's why this race is so hard to win, because there's what would they say, 359 entries, and theoretically, if you're in the O, which to be in the O, you would have to finish last in the C of your prelim night. Like, you would have to be in the back of your C main on your prelim night, and theoretically, I don't think it's ever been done, but somebody could come from the O and win it in the A. I mean, there's 359 cars. As of right now, I'm recording this, everybody has a shot. It's a long shot for most. I mean, if you're not in the B right now, it's a long shot for most, but it's pretty crazy. The 359 cars and everyone still has a chance. So with that being said, obviously Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, those guys, those 2 names in general, those are the guys that have the best shot, and they're probably going to be the contenders for the win tomorrow. As of last night, the Thursday prelim, we had Christopher Bell, who came from 6th to 1st. Had to man. I mean, he basically went from 6th to 1st and ran away. Nobody touched him. Meserol tried to hold him back, but it just couldn't do it. Christopher Bell. People are joking on Twitter. Dave Despain tweeted like the best thing ever, that Christopher Bell should start on the pole, but he should be a lap down. A lot of people have been saying, let's just start Christopher Bell in dead last and put a GoPro on him, and let's just watch him the whole race. Because, I mean, 3 years straight winning, not with Keith Kunz' Motorsports anymore, and he's by far the favorite. Kyle Larson's probably the second favorite, and then Rico Abreu or any Keith Kunz car has a realistic shot. Speaking of Keith Kunz cars, last night in the 67, which was Logan Seavey's old car, a kid that Keith gave a chance this year, Buddy Kofoid. I talked about him yesterday a little bit. He wears the Senna helmet. He's not for this weekend, but it's his first ever Chili Bowl. I might have mentioned that. You love to see this story play out. The kid came from, I think, Bakersfield, somewhere in California. He came to live in Ohio and run the All-Star Circuit Champions and run with the number 11N in Ohio. That's how I know him, because I went to a ton of races and I learned he's so good that I learned who Buddy Kofoid is. Michael Kofoid, he's Buddy Kofoid. He's 18 now, and you love to see a story like this, because last night Christopher Bell had nothing but great things to say about Buddy. He talked about, and what really is like eye-opening is Christopher Bell talked about how he told Keith that Michael Kofoid was the guy. Keith takes a chance on him, and look at him. He's 3rd last night in his prelim night. That's going to put him very well set up in the B to make it to the A main. He'll probably, if he doesn't get caught up in trouble, he'll probably be in the A. I think this is probably the most eye-opening thing, is Christopher Bell said that Buddy Kofoid probably has a head start on him, because Christopher Bell was like 18 when he joined Keith Kunz and ran his first Chili Bowl, but Christopher Bell was not running 3rd place in his prelim night, and that's just, it's pretty eye-opening. You know, I mean, can you imagine being Buddy Kofoid and having a guy like Christopher Bell, who's gone 3 straight at the Chili Bowl, saying that Kofoid is the next him? That's pretty eye-opening. I think a lot of people should be pretty high on Buddy Kofoid right now. So overall, last night, I think one of our IndyCar guys, James Davison, our Indy 500 guy, planning to do the Daytona 500, was going to do the Rolex 24. That deal fell through with Wickerer Racing, obviously, but He ran last night, and just like Ferrucci, dead last in his heat. Which, if you're dead last in your heat, you don't get the passing points. You go to the C main. He finished P10 in his C main. Not as good as Ferrucci did. Ferrucci went to 5th. So he's going to be in a lower main tomorrow than Ferrucci will be. I'm kind of wondering how Connor Daly is going to do tonight. I'm not going to be able to make a video recapping day 5 today, Friday night. So tomorrow, I'm going to do a live stream during the race starting at 8:25, 5 minutes before the MAV TV thing starts. I'm not going to show the coverage on my live stream, obviously. I'm not going to do that. But it's just, I'm going to set up a live stream. If you want to join and interact and talk about the race as it's happening, come join the discussion. It's going to be fun. It should be a good night. I mean, nobody shows up. If 5 people show up, it's still going to be fun. You know, it's going to be, the Chili Bowl Saturday is one of the events that I look forward to most every year. When the new year comes, the first thing in my mind, I mean, Supercross and Chili Bowl, and then the Rolex 24. So it's just, man, it's like Christmas Eve, isn't it? It's been a great week, man. It's been a great, like, this is probably setting up to be one of the best Chili Bowls in years. Especially, I mean, because Larson and Bell not with Keith Kunz, and then the 3 Keith Kunz cars I think to watch out for tomorrow is going to be Rico Abreu, Cannon McIntosh, and Buddy Kofoid. Cannon McIntosh is 17, guys. He won his prelim night. Buddy Kofoid finished 3rd. I mean Rico's expected to do well in the Keith Kunz car, but like Keith Kunz without Larson and Bell still doing this well is phenomenal to watch. You know, and then we've got other stories going into tomorrow, like can Ryan Newman make it into the A main? He ran pretty well, got caught up in that wreck that you guys saw. That was not his fault. So we'll see. There's a bunch of drivers like that though. I mean, how MAV TV works is they're going to start at 8:30, which is when the C main starts. So MAV TV is going to show both the C mains, both the B mains, and then the A. It's going to be a long night. I bet if I'm doing a stream starting at 8:25, that stream's probably going to last until, the race probably won't end until midnight, 11 or midnight. So yeah. So overall, just a preview to tonight, the Friday that's happening right now as I'm recording this. Right now in it tonight, the notable entries is Donnie Schatz. The dude's won like how many championships the last few years in the World of Outlaws? I can't even keep. I think he went 4 straight before last year. So like 2015 to 19, he was a champion. Yeah, Sam Hafertape Jr. He did really well in the Race of Champions. So I mean, he's probably a shoe, and he'll probably be one of the top contenders tonight. Ricky Stenhouse in the Clausen Marshall Racing team in the 17S. I mean, he's usually kind of strong. He might be in a C or a B tomorrow if I'm going to put projections out there. Tanner Thorson's usually pretty good. You might recognize him from the Truck Series. I believe he was in one of the NASCAR Heat video games. And then Connor Daly, I already talked about him, the Ed Carpenter Road and Street Course driver. Darren Pittman in the 21, the 2013 World of Outlaws champion. Tucker Klaasmeyer, he's usually one of the guys, and then the 89 of Chris Windham, which Windham was the guy that did the Freedom 100. And the day before that, he did the Hoosier 100, which I was at, and then and he did the Carbonite Classic. Yeah, lots of notables for tonight. Pretty much, like I said, our big names have kind of already won their prelims. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Rico Abreu. Those 3 names, if you're going into tomorrow and you've never seen a midget race, which you probably have if you're watching this, those are the 3 names I would say to watch for. If you were betting on this race, those 3 guys would be easy money. Young Money, Kyle Larson, easy money. Anyways, that's gonna do it. If you enjoyed these videos this week, please subscribe and like the video. Let me know what I can do different. Let me know what you think. Next week, I've said this a bunch of times, we're gonna be at the Rolex 24 with David Land, filming a bunch of content, trying to do a couple different things, and make sure you join tomorrow's live stream. It's gonna be fun. I'm skeptical how it's gonna go. I've never live streamed, but it should be a good bit of fun. This has been Race Nation TV, and I'll see you in the next one.